Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and we are in February. It is a Black History Month, and we love to feature today's organization every February when we have the chance, and that is HBREA. With us today, we have Michael Davis, who is the current president of HBREA, amongst other things that he does. And we're looking forward to hearing all about the organization today, how it benefits consumers, home buyers, and of course, realtors and industry partners as well. So welcome to the program, Michael.
I'm super excited to be here, Christina. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're really excited to talk with you this morning. But before we get into everything with HBREA, tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael, because you're very involved with HAR and HBREA.
Yeah, absolutely, Christina. So it's going to be a very exciting year for me. I was blessed to be the co-chair of the the Governmental Affairs Advisory Group with HAR. It was a advisory group that I served on last year. So they invited me to be the co-chair. Super excited about that. Also, as you all know, president of the Houston Black Real Estate Association, also known as HBREA, and really looking to bridge the two organizations together to work through some legislature that not only affects the Black community, but just affects homeowners and property rights just across the city and across the state. So really excited about being able to do that. I am the CEO and co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. We've just celebrated 17 years on January 17th. So that's a big thing. Me and my business partner founded it in 2008, and then 17 years later, we've grown it to over 150 people are part of our organization. So super proud of my team as well, and again, just glad for the opportunities that I'm going to have this year to have an impact.
Yeah, and bridging that gap, like you mentioned, between governmental affairs and HBREA, and maybe the programs, initiatives, and things like that, that is really important. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm really glad that you're doing that and serving in both roles. Of course, we thank you for your leadership. Let's talk a little bit about HBREA. What is the mission of HBREA, and how has that mission evolved over the years?
No, I think that's a great question. So HBREA is actually the Houston chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and we'll start there, right? Because that organization nationally was founded in 1947. And there was a need in the marketplace when it came to the Black community as far as support. When we talk about Black real estate professionals, so that support piece wasn't there. And then when you look at the Black community as it related to home ownership and real estate, the advocacy wasn't there in the 1940s. No need to kind of rehash the reasons for all of that. But the reality is that there was a need for an organization to come in and fill those gaps. So there was some 11 unique individuals at the time decided to do something about it. They came together in Tampa, Florida, and they created the National Association of Real Estate Brokers to fit that need, to give us our support as Black real estate professionals, as well as to have a champion to where we can work with making sure that there was fair housing for all and democracy in housing. So, you kind of fast forward a little bit to 1949, and that's when the Houston chapter of NARAB was created. And again, to champion pretty much the same protocols, right? To support Black real estate professionals is our mission, to support Black real estate professionals economically, financially, as well as educational wise, resources. And then the other piece is to really champion the Black community as it relates to real estate aspirations, real estate education, real estate resources, to ultimately help all individuals be able to realize the benefit of owning a home, tapping into real estate, and the benefits that come from building wealth from having that vehicle. So
Very good, thank you. Well, like you said, it's been a long history, and the mission has, I'm sure, evolved somewhat, but for the most part, has standing on that initial mission. Why is it important to have organizations like HBREA in today's real estate market and industry?
yeah, no, I think that's a great question, Christina. So, and again, I know how some people kind of view it as just kind of contributing to the divisiveness of our nation. But what I really like the viewers to understand is that, just because you have somebody that has a preference or wants to advocate for a particular community doesn't mean that you're discarding all other communities. That's not what this is about. Even as being president of HBREA, our goal is to come in as it relates to collaboration, collaborating with the other organizations that champion other communities, because we have shared values, we have shared insights that we want to see change.
Mhm.
And as we collaborate and work together, we can create the masses, and we can move change forward. So why we need to have organizations like HBREA or NAREP or ARIA is really is just about a particular community saying that we want to be intentional about helping those that are in our community. Right. Again, it's nothing against other communities. It's nothing against not having the cohesiveness of us all being Americans, all of us all being Houstonians. We definitely believe in that. And again, Christina, you don't have to be Black to be a member of the Houston Black Real Estate Association. All that we ask is that you have a shared value, and our values are as it relates to the Black community and helping increase home ownership rate in that community, increase or decrease the wealth gap as has been shown, through studies and statistics as it relates to our community. So there's a need in our community, and there's a need for a champion to help do something about that.
Very good. Thank you for leading those champions as we do it. A couple comments just coming in, telling you good morning. We've got some hand clapping emojis going on. They're liking what you're saying, and they're saying they love the mission. We also have a comment that just came in from Nichelle that says collaboration is key, and couldn't agree more with that. So let's talk about what HBRA does. Because you mentioned we're educating, empowering consumers, particularly first-time home buyers and underserved communities. What is HBRA doing, and how are they educating and empowering?
No, that's a great question. So let's first start with the consumer, right? So, we do our monthly free HUD certificate home buying class. And for those that may not know, are in the affordable housing space, there's resources that are available to first-time home buyers, to low to moderate income home buyers, as it relates to closing costs, as it relates to down payment assistance. Well, for those individuals to be able to receive those resources to help put them in a position of where they can purchase a home and own a home, they have to have some education that's tied to it. The government wants to tie some homeowner education to it, and that's very important, because the last thing we want to have happen is that we put you in a home and then you can't keep it. So we don't want that to happen. So we have decided as an organization that we're going to provide the classes that's required by the government to be able to receive these resources. It's an 8-hour class. The way that it's broke down is it's 6 hours of class time and it's 2 hours of counseling. Once they complete that class, they get a certificate, and then that certificate allows them to be able to tap into those resources. What makes us different, because we're not the only organization that offers the class, but really sets us apart, is that we offer it at no cost. These classes can charge upwards of $100, some organizations, for someone to take this class. But for us, every month, HBREA foots the bill for because you have to be a HUD certified instructor. We foot the bill for that, so we can allow individuals to take this class, get the certificate, and then they can be able to use it for their resources. So that's one of the bells of the ball, as I would say, with HBREA that we provide to the consumer. The other thing that I really think is humongous is every year we do a community wealth building tour. And that community wealth building tour pretty much puts all the key players into the same room. It's a humongous event that we do in April to close out our Realtors Week. We bring our partners, our financial partners through the banks. A lot of those are the ones that are providing those resources. We bring our friends when it comes to the local government, our politicians, they come in. We bring in our partnerships as it relates to the Houston Lawyers Association, as our title companies. So all of our partners that participate us in this journey of helping homeowners and as well as impacting our community, we bring them all into the same building. We have educational workshops. We have fun things for the kids, because it's a complete family event. And again, the goal is for us to identify individuals that we can assist in getting prepared, getting ready to where they can begin to purchase a home. So those are two events that we do for the consumer or the customer. Now, as it relates to our members, We do have continuing education classes that we're going to be partnering with HAR to help us deliver some of those to our membership. We also have what's called the Broker Circle. And the Broker Circle is designed to assist with professional development for our members, for our team leads, for our broker owners, ultimately to do better business, right? Because if they're doing better business, they can recruit and bring on more agents. They can and more agents that they can train. And then as we increase our workforce, now there's more boots on the ground for us to help propel people in our community and help move them along the pathway. So those are just a couple of our ways that we educate our membership as well as the consumer.
Excellent. Thank you so much for walking us through that. Just a quick comment that came in from Shannon. She said, this is in regard to the consumer class. Great class where agents can feel confident their clients will come back to them to find a home.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And they'll come back educated, like we're saying, and empowered. Very good. So I would imagine in your years in real estate and then your time working with HBREA and other organizations, you've probably heard a lot of misconceptions around home ownership. What are some of the biggest or most common misconceptions that people have about home ownership, and how does HBREA address those?
No, I think that's a great question, Christina. The biggest misconception, a lot of people are just afraid, right? I mean, that's just kind of running rampant, that people are afraid, but then when you really drill down to get an idea of what they're afraid of, they don't know, right? So when we talk to people about just filling out the loan application, right? You fill out the loan application, let's get an idea of where you are financially as it relates to credit, as it relates to how much money you need saved, as it relates to whether interest rates have moved. So just fill out the loan application. And some of the pushback that we get, Christina, is I'm not ready. I'm gonna fill it out when I'm ready. Or, I'm working on my credit. Like, we get those as well.
Yeah.
And the reality is what is ready, right? Most people, there is no frame of reference around ready. And the only way that you're gonna know if you're ready is if you fill out the loan application, because that's what's going to kind of determine that. Person says, I'm working on my credit. Most people don't understand how credit works. They don't understand the formula of credit and how credit reads things. So until they speak with a professional, and again, HBREA is about developing our professionals to speak to the pain points of the consumer. Until they do that, they're really not on track to put themselves in a position to purchase a home. So a lot of the time, we're persuading people to trust us, right? Trust us as a professional, trust the process, and get away from their preconceived notions. I don't necessarily know where people get them from. Sometimes it just seems as if people wake up one day and they have this preconceived notion about what is required or what it takes to be able to purchase a home. But I think a lot of it just comes from fear, don't want to be rejected, and mistrust.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. We know there's barriers to home ownership, whether they be financial or different things like that. But it seems like those mental hurdles are just as much a part of the problem for a lot of people. So having realtors and industry partners that are educated to put those consumers in a better position or a better frame of mind even to purchase a home, it really makes the difference. So yeah, very good. Very good.
Absolutely. So, one thing, Christina, if I could really get my fellow real estate professionals to understand the value that we truly provide to the marketplace. I mean, we change people's lives. Like, this is a message that I tell to my agents all the time, that you need to accept how powerful you are as in this career, the level of resiliency that we have, as well as the level of power that we bring to ultimately, if a person moves out of their parents' house into an apartment, that's a life-changing event. If a person moves from an apartment or a rental home into owning their own home, that changes their life. That changes the lives of the children that grow up in that community. That's generational change. When people go to purchase their first investment property and they begin to build wealth and build legacy, like, this is life changing. And we are blessed to be able to participate in all of that for these people's lives. And if I can get my professionals to have that level of passion and care for individuals, man, we will really make a big difference in this world.
I love that. Love that so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We always love a good inspiration on a Monday morning. It feels good. All right. Well, you mentioned that you're co-chairing the Governmental Affairs Advisory Group this year, and you've been involved with that group and with the Political Affairs Advisory Group as well. Have you seen any recent policy changes or even market trends that are impacting homeownership opportunities for minority communities?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a new thing, Christina, but this is something that we really need to battle. Historically, there has been access to funds and resources. I somewhat spoke to those things earlier when it comes to low to moderate income individuals, and I hate to say a lot of those low to moderate individuals are minority. All
Mm,
right, so one of the things that we really need to champion is access to those funds. Sometimes there's a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy that we're pulling our consumers into the mess. And because we pull them into the mess, it discourages them. And then they decide that they don't want to move forward and they just want to, stick to what they know.
mhm,
I talked earlier about how persuasive and how inspiring we need to get to convince people just to take the next step. So you can imagine if we pull them into something that's chaotic, how they are going to want to run for the hills. So we got to work with our legislators, our council people, our committee directors locally within the city that are responsible for the distribution of these funds, that are responsible for the requirements and the criteria, and figure out how we can eliminate layers to make the access to these funds a lot more streamlined and a lot smoother, so we don't keep losing people to
mm,
not wanting to try again. So really want to work within the local government, within the state government, to express those concerns that we're seeing boots on the ground as it relates to the execution of getting these funds to the people that they're earmarked for.
yeah. Very good. And I just want to mention we saw it in the countdown timer before this started, but it was a promotion for down payment resource. That is a talking about getting people funds to be able to get them. That's a excellent tool that's available for our members in Matrix, but also on har.com for consumers. And I know that. I think it's something like 89% of the listings in our MLS are, it might even be more than that now, in the 90% now, I think, that are eligible for some sort of down payment program. So please take advantage of that program. And again, get people what they need to get into that house.
Absolutely.
Very good. So for those that want to get involved, we did share the link in the chat, and we can do that again in just a second. For those that want to get involved, how can realtors and other industry partners support HBREA's mission and get involved with HBREA?
No, absolutely. So, we make it real simple. To learn more about the Houston Black Real Estate Association, just go to hbreahouston.org. And we have a video connected to it that talks about HBREA, but then I would also encourage you to go to narab.org, and you'll be able to actually see a video of just kind of like the history of NARAB. Because remember, again, our roots we're rooted in NARAB and the work that NARAB has done over all of these years. So I would definitely encourage you to go there and learn more and get inspired, get into the fight with us. And then, if you do decide that you want to join our organization, then all you have to do is go to joinhbrea.org. You'll be able to pull up the membership levels, and you'll see where you can come in, as a partner with us. Whether that's through membership, whether that's through financial partnership, whatever component that you want to play. There's an opportunity for you, and you don't have to be just a licensed realtor. Some people feel like you just have to be a licensed realtor, but no, we have inspectors, appraisers, insurance, loan officers, like anybody that touches the real estate community. There's a membership level for you. Any kind of small business, taxes. We have financial planners. We have credit restoration people. We have power washers. Like, we have everybody, right? And again, it's all designed when it comes to doing good business to help people take advantage of this vehicle called real estate. So we do have an event that we're having in March. That I think that will be a great opportunity to get face to face, belly to belly with us. Meet a lot of our leaders. We'll be installing new leaders. So everyone be on the lookout for that. And we're going to be sending that information out so we can make sure that we get you in the building so we can shake hands with you, love on you, hug on you, and see if you want to work with us.
Very good. So you have an event coming up in March. How can everybody stay updated to the different events that you have, both for the monthly consumer class, but also different events for real estate professionals?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what we're going to do, like on our website, we have a calendar of events. So we're definitely going to update there. But let me give you one other link. I don't know if I emailed this one to you, Christina, but there's hbreaevents.org. And HBREA events, it'll take you to our Eventbrite page. We're on Eventbrite. And everything that we do our registrations through Eventbrite. So everything's going to be on Eventbrite. So that's another avenue for people to stay abreast of what we have going on. But definitely our calendar on our website and through our hbreaevents.org link.
Okay, very good. And we can share that. I see somebody said drop it in the comments, so we will. Absolutely. Very good, and it looks like somebody did as well. So we've got some people telling you great info. I know that I've learned a few things and definitely got, like I said, some inspiration going this morning. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah, so, I am going to say this, complete transparency. We've been around for a long time, right? We celebrated 75 years here recently. And I wish I could say that it's been 75 years where we've done it all right. Like we've made all the right decisions. We haven't rubbed people the wrong way or, I wish I could say that, but unfortunately I can't, right? We have made some mistakes. We may have, people that had come previously and, wanted to be a member with HBREA and it wasn't a pleasant experience. So we're taking a hard look in the mirror and we're being honest about, what we've done in the past. But what I can assure you is that all of that's gone, right? At HBREA, we're actively creating a tailored experience for not only our membership, but also for how we impact the community. So if you truly have a heart for the Black community and you want to see increase in what's happening in that community, helping more people tap into real estate, tap into home ownership. HBREA is positioned like we are the vehicle that's the best position to have the greatest impact in moving the needle forward in those things. So we just ask, come back, give us another shot, get alongside of us because we're greater together, right? So I know that narrative is out in the marketplace, and one of my biggest goals in my presidency is to show people how that narrative is no longer a good representation of who we are at HBREA.
Very good. Well, thank you. And we look forward to this year in your leadership, of course, with HBREA and with HAR. We thank you so much for that. I didn't see any questions rolling in, just a lot of people saying great info and thank you. Shannon said membership has benefits. Absolutely. And we did share those links to the events page and how to join HBREA and the information about NAREB as well. So thank you, Michael, so much for your time today and for sharing such great information with us.
Yeah, no, the pleasure's all mine. I think this is amazing. It gave me an opportunity to kind of send this out to a lot of people. So Christina, you may be able to add some people to your audience.
That's great.
Here today.
Well, if you are watching for the first time, we are here every Monday at 9 a.m. And we are always interviewing interesting people. Next week, we actually will have Skip Richter with Garden Line. He is a garden and plant expert. We just had a freeze. How are we recovering? How are we fixing those lawns for our personal homes, but also for your clients that may have a listing on the market? What do we need to do to get that looking better again, right? So that's what we'll be doing next Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time today. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. We will be back next Monday at 9 a.m. So we'll see you then. Have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week, everybody.